Welcome back.
We're joined by the two scholarship recipients, Bryson Codd and Karim Coleman.
Yes.
You might know these guys from their phenomenal performance in the previous volleyball competition that they performed excellently and superbly. I was proud as a Belizean to watch you guys. So this is a full return to a very practical way to see returns from athletics.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so you guys are. Can you tell us a little bit of the story? Can we get into the story as to how the scholarship came about?
Okay, so it was after our Central American Games last year when we were contacted by our coach, Coach Nigel in Saskatchewan, Canada. But this was because of our performance in the Central American Games. He was scouting via one of the students who is currently at Briarcrest College, and the student from Costa Rica, he's a national team player. He came up to me and he said that we're interested in offering you a scholarship. And in that little discussion that we had over some weeks after coming back from Nicaragua, I said that I asked him, I said, is there any other opportunity for another talented athlete? We have so much talent here in Belize, and our talents are not being utilized. And so
You are not a normal Belizean, right?
Yeah.
You didn't just say thank you.
Yep.
You turned
Right.
around
There
and
next
said, "Can we get someone else
right.
or more?"
I went right
That's
into
great.
it. And he said, yes, there are so much more opportunities out here in Canada. It's all about networking. And he said, right now on our team, we have an opportunity for an opposite. Do you know someone? I said, take a look right back at that game versus Costa Rica and look at the opposite from Belize. And that's when he contacted Karim to see if he'd be interested in studying in Saskatchewan as well.
This is such a great. I read it and I just said to myself, there's so many different elements to it that I love. One being that you don't just take an opportunity for yourself, but you see how you can expand it to include others, moving away from this Belizean mentality of scarcity. There's not space for one, there's space for many if we try. So that's one thing. But also, you just went out there representing Belize. You didn't go with the intention of being scouted.
Right.
And here comes this opportunity handed over to you, and you make the decision now to follow through. But so many of our athletes in Belize are part-time athletes. You know, you're thinking career, you're thinking sometimes you're already working, and you just get to hit a ball, kick a ball for fun otherwise. What does this mean for you to now be a collegiate athlete playing the sport that you love?
Well, it means now that we get to bring some attention to the sport that we've been playing for so long, because volleyball is always seen as a sport that's pushed to the side. We have just our handful that comes to the games and everything. But for us, I mean, it's very exciting, but like you said, we're not normal Belizeans. No. We're trying to get this opportunity to the other players that we know have the talent and can make it out there. And if that is to happen, which it will someday, then that would be the biggest return of it all, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I want to move away from the scholarship a little, because I think the scholarship is just sort of like returns on a route which is beautiful. You guys represent to me leaders of a demographic which is not receiving scholarships, it's receiving sentences.
Right.
And the connection between their natural ability, you know, what they are and what they have is all they need. How do you comment on what is happening to young Creole, Black youths in this country and the bridge of opportunity that is there?
I think one of the first things that comes to my mind is the fact that if we don't use sport as a means of development, country, we're severely underperforming. And as I stated last week in the speech that we had at the press
My
conference,
favorite quote.
that
Quote of the year. No?
we are not poor as a country. We're just severely poorly organized. And so one of the things is that we have to our mechanisms that we have in terms of investing in our young people. I took the opportunity that I had last week at work to go through the budget, and I looked at the sports section under the Ministry of Education, and I saw that in some of the years 2012 through 2017, some of the figures was 0, 0, 0, 0. And then when you look at Capital 2, you see that there is no figure. When you look at the recurrent expenditure, 85% goes to personal emoluments. Stuff like this, we have to pay attention to. Where is the money being expended? Where is the that needs to be put into our human resources?
Yeah, because we live in a place where sports is not really a big issue. We understand that education comes first, but not everyone learns the same way. Not everyone can be talented in that way. So, up in school, a lot of people, they have creative ability, they have talent, and that's a thing that we tend to move away from. And we have a lot of natural musicians out there who pick up a guitar and learn to play. I know I can't do that. I can't teach myself to play the guitar, right? And I think if we focus more on the creative aspect of it, that we will have a lot more young people being involved in stuff in their environment instead of receiving, as you said, the sentence.
Right.
Have you known people over the years who perhaps had an interest and then kind of fell into other activities instead of following through with the sport?
Yeah, and I think that comes back to our younger players not having that frame of reference to look at, okay, this is where I want to be in this sport. This is what I can achieve if I put in the hard work, if I maintain my grades, if I just smile. And I think that's the platform that we have now. We have set that standard that our younger players can look forward to expect something greater than just playing the sport for a hobby, so to speak.
Karim, you were saying that in Belize we have the problem that most people play for fun. And it connects with what you were saying, Brighton, which is that, you know, we don't see that it comes with a lot of things. The association with sports is, I play sports, and I see the dedication that you guys put in every week because you play at the same facility that I play. Not on the same level, of course. I've seen you guys work out, which is, Belizeans would be proud. But the connection, for the most part, with sports is drugs and ego. And the connection that you are making is between sports, discipline, and education. How do we move, not from the man's perspective, from the but how do we move psychologically from the youth perspective to make that connection, to shift them away from, say, this is not about smoking weed before you play football and volleyball, and then having a whole ego that you play good one season and then you drop off, and then you stop playing and stop working or stop going to the gym. But really and truly, your focus should really be on education and looking at where the opportunity takes you. How do we make that shift?
Excellent question.
I think, first of all, we need to start establishing some incentives to get the youths to come out, first of all. Because, you know, in Belize, like how we say, we're not getting anything from that, so I don't feel like going to practice today, right? And I think, I mean, although we've moved away from the scholarship thing, I think if they know that they can get something if they put in the work, then we will have more people coming to work out. We'll have more people being involved, dedicated, and not just coming on time and want to be there, right? Because that's the biggest problem. Any discipline in Belize, our problem is always time and time issue. And when it comes to sports, especially team sports, everyone being on time is a big thing because you warm up together, and instead of one person being already at one level, now you get the time to rise together. And if you try to connect communities and where these people are, a lot of it is for group activity, as you may say, like gangs, they put it. Everything is for the gang, right? And if you try to give them a family outside of that where the sports is, then you'll see them try to come back. That's the incentive. They met a new brother here at this sport, so now they're trying to help and develop together. And that's the way how we see it. We try to uplift each other. I mean, we have a small community, but our community tries to stick together as one family. And if we can try to teach that to our youths, then I think they would understand that, well, you don't have a choice. It's your choice to make. you can either choose to stay where you are or try to make something better.
You know, and sports can be a tool, even if you finish your college degrees and you decide that, you know, you want to come back and actually focus on a career. Sport has get you there.
Yeah.
Right.
You join the ranks of people like Kaina Martinez, who, I mean, I think these self-starter athletes in our country are amazing, and I wish somebody would document your stories about what keeps you going the entire way, because it's fighting upstream in a system that really doesn't, you're right, the people in athletics as much as they should in sports, I should say, technically. People like Kaina, who was most surprising, Dr. Candice Pitts, who is now the city councilor, went away on a basketball scholarship. I didn't even know that, you know. I think we've had other volleyball players as well. Who I think Kelsey,
Yes.
Valderramos,
yeah.
went away on a volleyball scholarship. And basketball, like Devin Daly, also doing great for himself in college. And these aren't people who, you know, any ministry, any particular unknown person helped them through. It was just your God-given talent and discipline that got you seen. So I wanted to make that out there, that you are now in that very elite group of people. But what's most important, though, I think, is that you are still thinking in how you can be able to have other people opportunities. So you're starting a foundation.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
Okay, so our foundation is BK Volleyball Foundation. And right now we're at the point of strengthening our institution. So we're partnering with Proto, people reaching out to others. Mr. Mark Usher, he has been helping us along this process. And my brother, who is my personal advisor, he has been guiding us along this process as well.
I'm sure he's watching. You better say good morning.
And yes, so we have a couple things that we want to get done before we leave to Canada, and that is, you know, to the talent that's untapped in Dangriga and Punta Gorda. I think everything has been centralized in Belize City, and it's time to get some of the resources to our districts, because that's essentially where the talent is, and we have not been able to create that mechanism to harness and nurture that talent.
You know, sports in Belize is fueled on competition, but the colloquial term for competition in Belize is hating.
Yes.
So I'm sure that people out there are thinking, but man, I'm better than he, which cannot be said when it comes to you guys. I saw you guys performing. No,
You have a big fan.
No, these guys
Now
really
we gotta
Belize,
follow all the college games.
these guys really made Belize proud. I saw the passion that you played with, and I saw the quality of play that you did. So this scholarship is, they're getting more than we are in this scenario. But how do you keep this fresh, positive energy? Because you're going to come up against the wall. You come back, I mean, there's a guy that I play basketball with on the same nights that you guys, they play volleyball, Andrew Bynum, who's a phenomenal talent. He's a beast. He's mini LeBron. And he comes back and he faces a lot of different kind of gentlemen. But he comes back and he faces a lot of hating. And it has put him into a place where he almost stands back, he plays for the fun, and he no longer contributes. How do you, when you reach that wall, how do you guys deal with it?
I think personally for me, me going is inspiring other young players to want to reach that level as well. I always believe that true leaders create other leaders, and I think after coming back, because one of our goals is to go there and create that network for other young people to get this opportunity as well. And our coach from Canada, he has responded very well in assisting us with creating that network. So I think also giving that sense of hope to our young people that, you know what, this opportunity could be available to you, and we will be that that tool to make that.
Yeah, and for me, like, I mostly just don't pay any attention, but there's a lot of people who can't really do that. So I think instead of trying to hate on someone else, like, use the true word competition, get the true meaning of it. Like, competition only makes you stronger, it builds better character. And if you're doing it the right way, then you, as well as the next person you're competing against, can raise the level. So with you raising your level, then you put yourself out there to be in the same shoes that we are. The next name that is called might be yours, but to keep the correct frame of mind, you can't go out there worrying about what the next person is doing. You have to worry about first, you have to worry about you, right? And when it comes to sports, being aggressive, as you might put it, comes from the competition. And us as Belizeans have the problem that we like to stoop to the level of the competition. Because even though we're at a high level, depending on who we're playing against, if the team is not as high, sometimes we tend to bring down our level. And that's what we need to change. We need to stay on that high. Because from that high, then you can only go higher. And when the bridges start to build themselves.
Yeah, I like that. Competition isn't a bad thing, you know.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a bad thing. And you can always compete against your own self as well. I want to touch on this because I think I've heard experiences and witnessed experiences where very good athletes in this country don't always have the discipline that is necessary. And I'm anticipating, I don't know anything about playing college sport of any sort, but I'm anticipating you're probably going into a very rigorous program, more than you, which will include things like diet, nutrition, sleep, workout, grades. How prepared are you to put in that discipline that will be required to survive, not just with your grades, but really being on that major
Well, for me, it's something I've been doing for quite some years.
Okay.
Because I've been playing since second form.
Yeah.
And
Which high school?
SJC.
Good school.
I mean, it's not easy. It's something that's very challenging because you have to keep up as well as stay with your sports, right? And then when you start to make the connection, then that's when it clicks. You have to realize that now you need better time management, right? Because like for me, I used to leave school, go to the gym, go home, have to do but go to the gym again. Sometimes I'm reaching home at 11 in the night and I still have some studying to do, right? But that's the level of sacrifice you have to put in if you want to get something out. So for me now, it's just like I'm going right back to high school, right back to the junior college, because I've been there.
Okay.
It's going to be a harder program, but once you get the time management in, everything will fall into place.
I think we have already been sent our workout schedule.
Yes,
Yeah.
sent that.
We have already been been told that we have to maintain a diet, healthy. And I have been practicing this for some years now. I've been going to the gym.
So
I've
you're
been
ready.
working out sometimes 2 times for the day, in the morning and the evening. And so it's been a couple of years. I have a couple of years experience.
Oh, that's good.
Because I used to play and I used to play basketball. I was on a basketball scholarship at Galen University. And so I think managing my time properly for school and then sport, and then also to put in that extra workout, I think it has come naturally now for me.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lifestyle.
Brighton, you're going to get a Master's of Arts in Leadership and Management with a specialization in Polarity Management and Government Design.
Right.
That's a mouthful. And Karen will be studying a Bachelor's of Law, and you hope to, of course, continue your studies after that.
Yes.
You guys have quite a lot of work ahead of you, but obviously you're making Belize proud as well. Do you now have new goals in terms of where you want to go in your volleyball career as well?
Well, for me personally, last year while I was working and I just graduated from Galen in 2017, I had actually been coaching by an agent in Greece. And so I was offered an opportunity to play in Greece, but at the same time I was signing up for the Evening Scholarship. I had an athletic scholarship from the University of East London as well. And then this opportunity came up. And so I said, let me just weigh my opportunity that I have and make my move from there. I'm sure that the opportunity will be available in the next 2 years when I'm finished from Canada. So
Yeah.
I'm looking to go pro in the near future.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
And
been
you?
something that we've been talking about for
Yeah.
a while. We've been discussing it for a while that if the opportunity comes, we're going to take it because we're putting in the work,
Yeah.
right? So if we get to go there for 2 years, then might as well take the 2 years and then come back and.
Is that part of the
finish
Canada appeal that may actually open up more doors?
up. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because when you talk about having other options, obviously there's a reason Canada stood out more.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go back to being a fan again. I mean, for me, I mean,
Good,
I just
because
come
at
up.
the same time we're playing the videos.
You know, I just Saturday I came off a high. I'm not talking about the extracurricular beverages. I'm talking about, you know, the fact that I had a Belize who topped international race.
Yes.
In Justin Williams.
Williams.
Right.
Williams.
How do we move Belize? I know we placed well. I think we performed excellently, but we still didn't hit the prime goal that we wanted, which was to win the overall competition. You two are going away. You're going to be coming back, you know, equipped with tremendous skill and knowledge, and be in tremendous shape. But it's a team sport,
Yes.
and so we can't win it with just two superstars.
Right.
We have the uphill struggle of, if I'm right, there's only one volleyball facility in the entire country. I think it's on Princess Margaret Drive. Everything else is really
Dedicated volleyball.
dedicated
yeah.
volleyball. Everything else is really a cement,
Basketball.
a wheel with cement in it and a pool. How in the
Does the
short
Civic
term?
Center have a volleyball area?
Well, I'm not sure if the
That
holes
we
have
know
been
of.
have been put in place
As
as
yet.
yet.
Okay. Oh, but there should be a volleyball area in
Yeah,
the
well-
Civic. Okay, I'm just checking.
But how in the short term? Because success breeds success. How in the short term do we make sure we capitalize on have you two superstars here? And I'm not afraid to say it. And get the entire program to a place where nationally, I mean internationally, we look at Brazilian football. Like, you know, there's a pool of really talented guys here. How do we move just not only yourselves, but also the other members of the team to get us national team?
I think this
That's why
comes
you have
back, yeah. It comes back to some restructuring that we have to do in terms of our sporting system on a whole, from the National Sports Council perspective to the association level to even what government inputs into sports development. I think this is the strategic action that we need to sit down and come together as multi-stakeholders and try to develop.
This guy's good.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I think that's where we have to begin from. We
Government
have,
design.
I'm telling you.
we have to redesign.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
And also we have to come back with our knowledge that we will gain
Exactly.
and try to pass that on to our colleagues as well.
Yeah.
And in the foundation, you'll also be doing some training
Yes.
with the young men,
Yes.
women. Is it boys only that you're recruiting?
No.
No.
Okay.
We are a young lady right now. She has
From
extraordinary
Africa?
talent. She's from Belmopan.
Belmopan, yeah.
Yes. Like us, we're going out there, just two of us from Belize, but the two of us now have become the ambassadors of our sport.
Absolutely.
Right? So that is what the foundation is about. We intend to come and bring back the knowledge that we've learned out there and share it with our players, our coaches that we have here in Belize that can then impart this knowledge throughout the nation, because that's what we want. We want this game to be played everywhere. We don't want it just centralized here in Belize, and that's why Brighton talked about we're trying to go down south to get into these areas that are not really seen,
Yeah.
where a lot of untapped
And
talent
they're very
are.
talented. Independence High School used to be, and maybe it still is, the force to be reckoned with when I was in high
Yes.
school. Yeah.
A lot of
TCC
untapped
as well.
TCC, yes.
potential. And that's where the restructuring comes in. We need to change the management that we have within our sports sectors. We need to try to develop now a means to get these players playing, because they're not really playing. They're just there, once in a while, to knock a ball and then sit down again. And if we have some ongoing programs that will have these players doing year-round training, games, because these schools out here, they don't sit down and wait until competition time, right? They train all year round for competition, right? But you have your in-season and your off-season training, where if you're off-season, it's going to be harder. In-season, it's going to be less. And if we put that mentality into the leaders, so to say, of our sports system, then I think we will get a big return, will yield big return.
Well, gentlemen, you leave till August. In the meantime, you're trying to establish the foundation. If people want to find out more about it, how do they contact you or get that information?
Well, you could contact Bryson Codd Jr. at 615-9186, or you can send me an email at brightonecod@gmail.com.
And you can also reach us on Facebook. We've already created a Facebook page.
Right.
All right, it's called
BK Foundation.
BK
Volleyball
Foundation.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming in and sharing this great story. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And best of luck.
Yes,
Thank
keep
you.
it up.
All
Thank you.
right. We're going to go ahead and take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap-up, so stay tuned.
What do you want from your bank?
I want to know that my bank teach me how to save.
I want to know that my bank can help to make my dream of owning a home a reality.
I want to know that my bank will help me grow my business and build Belize.
I want to know that my bank will keep my investment.
Whether you want to start a savings plan, build your own home, invest in your business, or plan for retirement, the Belize Bank is here for you. The Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
You can share the love with Smart's SMS sharing. To share from your bundle, all you have to do is send a message to 767 and in the body put person followed by a space and the number of SMS you wish to share. It's that easy. Share the love with Smart's SMS sharing, because Smart the love.
You never know when it might happen.
You can't afford to take chances with your safety. You can't afford to take chances with your life. Because you never know when it might happen.
Always be safe because you never know.